So since this champ right here chose not to activate his microphone, of course, because always the perpetual issue with the channel and with everything in my entire life is Windows Update and Streamlabs OBS updates, just like totally ruining everything. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick intro. This is Dungeons 3, and it was in the Humble Monthly, I think in October. Maybe it was last month, so I don't know. But, oh no, yeah, it was in October's. And it reminds me of Dungeon Keeper, which is one of my top all-time favorite games of all time. I hope you enjoy.
The shadow of absolute evil. The shadow of absolute evil had crossed the sea and now sought the chosen target, a dark elf named Thalya.
Alright, so I played through a bunch of this already, but I restarted. There's actually a really cool feature where you can just like restart your progress.
A long time ago. The absolute evil had, in the famous predecessor to this game, subjugated the known world and defeated good. Now, in a world full of blackness and despair, it spent its days sipping cocktails from the skulls of its enemies and forging new plans over a grilled unicorn kebab. Unfortunately, there wasn't much left to forge. A few orc wedges, the occasional trick played on the little snots. There just wasn't anything left to conquer. As the weeks and months passed, the absolute evil grew ever more reticent and seclusive. From time to time, one could hear a slight murmur from the depressed evil's secret laboratory in the depths of the dungeon. Its creatures grew more worried with each passing day, and even started to miss its ingenious evil tricks. It was a somewhat confusing time for them. No beatings, no torture, and no being sent to a senseless death. On the other hand, it was a rather nice...
And no being sent?
Eons passed, and the unicorn supply dwindled until suddenly, one wonderful day, the evil genius evil joyfully burst from its secret laboratory. It finally had a new goal. An unknown continent, as often found in sequels, lay to the east, sheltered from the wicked evil by
Road to India, Skull Island, Donkey Island. Oh gosh.
It immediately had a fleet built. This was so powerful that it covered the horizon from north to south and was manned by the best and most powerful creatures at the devious evil's command. The fleet set sail for the crossing to this new continent, left the harbor, and sank. Yet that mattered naught to the couldn't give a hoot about its minions evil.
Oh.
It instructed its goblins and little snots to design an even more powerful fleet. These new ships were gigantic. Loaded with devious evil's second-best creatures, the fleet set out. And that sank.
I was gonna say, I think it sinks.
The annoyed evil saved his relentless anger towards the shipbuilders for later. Obviously, it would have to take care of the matter itself. With a sigh, it cast a spell and created a shadow of itself, a creature of absolute darkness and evilness. This shadow flew across the water towards the east. There, it would find a vessel, a corruptible being that would subjugate this land in the name of evil, and the shadow had the perfect target in mind.
Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, I played a bunch of this, but I didn't pay attention to the story because I just wanted to, initially, I just wanted to like figure out if I would like to play this game because...
Paladin
oh, here we go again.
Hero of the totally Eastern Kingdoms and a repugnantly good fellow. He was visiting the fatiguing library in Twistram with his comrades to see his foster daughter Thalya.
There's a lot of references in this game too, it's ridiculous.
Well now, Thalya,
and they actually
tell
joke
me
about it
your
too.
Studies. Are you making progress with the writings of the ancient sages?
Yes, dear father, I have thoroughly digested it and have come a step closer to the good. The desire within me to do evil is defeated.
Yay!
Really?
Her story's really funny.
Excellent. I am proud of you, my child. Continue to concentrate on your studies. I must go to Stormbreeze to clear up a few matters. I'll be back soon. In the meantime, my loyal friend Grimly will protect the country. Should any...
You love this game? Eleanor Bree, hey, how's it going?
Isn't that right, Grimly?
I also love it.
Aye, of course, Janos. I'll keep an eye on the damned elf. I mean, your daughter.
See,
You can count
this is
on
why
me.
I go evil right here.
Then I'll see you soon, my friends. May the goddess watch over you, and the light burn eternally.
Bon voyage, dear father. I'll make you so proud of me. Who does good is good.
Oh. So I used to play Dungeon Keeper a lot.
Disgusting phrases like that always leave such a nasty taste in my mouth. These abnormally good heroes, on the other hand, had no inkling of the malignity gathered to the south. One moment a herd of sheep was peacefully grazing,
Ooh!
and the next moment,
You got rocked.
whoomph, with a fulminant explosive effect that ate up half our special effects budget.
Just that.
Who entered the world.
Oh, good.
His target, a dark elf caught between good and evil, was very close. As the shadow of the unspeakably evil moved through the world, all around it died. Plants withered. Animals perished. Sort of like a picnic with my family.
Doing well, had some stress earlier, had to take our cat to the vet, regular checkup, and she didn't want to get in her cage. And of course, I hate going to the vet. Yeah, that is the worst. Sorry to hear that. So yeah, I played a bunch of this game, but then I like restarted the campaign. I started playing it on Saturday, thinking like I should just try this to see if it's like Dungeon Keeper, which is one of my top like 3 favorite games of all time, and literally it is. It's just like, it's like a combo almost of like StarCraft and Dungeon Keeper, where and it doesn't show it yet, but like the left map is the above world where all the good people are, and then the right map is like your dungeon, so you have to build up your dungeon and get that going. But this is the first little storyline. Basically, we're trying to corrupt, or we're trying to reach Twistrum, yeah. And then this shadow can take over like enemy good people, as long as they're not in the light. So I have this possess. The shadow can possess a hero if they are not in the light. And then we have to get through...
The shadow of the far-off evil found itself very, very close to Twistrum. It could practically feel its target's presence.
Take these lanterns, men, and let them.
And then we're trying to corrupt this lady.
For the night is dark and full of terrors. And there's a pile of horse poo around here.
I just love the jokes in this game.
Trod on it earlier. For the darkness. I mean, for the light.
For the darkness.
Sorry. I'm still in training.
So like the story... Oh, hold on.
Yes, well, that is somewhat suboptimal. Naturally, the shadow of the almighty evil was an incredibly powerful creature. But, well, light was a bit of an issue. It would certainly be wise to stay out of the lantern light. The shadow reached the entrance to Twistrum. Fortunately, this one was not closed. But
See, now we just possessed him.
lit.
It only lasts for a really short amount of time, so...
guard on patrol that the shadow was able to possess, thanks to its incredible powers. As long as it wasn't in the light.
What was that? I think there was something wrong with that last beer.
Unfortunately, the shadow's possession only lasted a short while before the guard was able to free himself. Still, it was long enough to get past the gate.
You've seen a bunch of playthroughs? Nice. I actually didn't know this had come out.
So close. Thalya, the dark elf. Soon she
Yay!
would fight on the side of
Evil! Oh, God.
May the goddess be with you, my friends. It will soon be time to open the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Come to the big square and join in the festivities.
Did you get to try War for the Overworld? No, I have not.
I don't know.
What is that?
I had actually kind of planned to spend the evening in the bathhouse.
Friends, this orphanage is very important to my father. Tanos, you know, the mighty paladin, the one you really don't want to offend.
Seriously, the dialogue.
All right,
It's so
we'd love to
ridiculous.
come.
Excellent! May the light of the goddess shine upon you, and let us experience this exhilarating spectacle in the big square together. Follow me, my friends, for evil,
The light!
Keep the light burning bright, for the night is dark and full of terriers or
Terriers.
errors or
Something like that. Unreal. But yeah, I played Dungeon Keeper and seriously unbelievably loved it, and like I just bought it recently and played it again I think like a year ago or something like that. But then I bought, I think, the first of this game series, Dungeon or Dungeons, whatever. And it just confused me because I guess you have to like, oh, hold on. You have to like bring the good people into your like dungeon and then put decorations up, and then they like the decorations, and then you get more points if they like your dungeon, but then you killed it. I don't know, it was like too much. It was very hard for me to grasp. Maybe I should have kept playing and it would have gotten easier or more sensical, but it just seemed like a lot of just randomness. But I did read today that Dungeons 2 is like this, like Dungeon Keeper. A bunch of people kickstarted a game similar as could be to Dungeon Keeper. They even hired the narrator from Dungeon Keeper. Oh my god, I love that. Is it good? Is it worth it? Because seriously, Dungeon Keeper is like my favorite game of all time. Also, this guy can attack enemies. Not sure if I really care to do that.
I am Grimly, king of the dwarves, and I am used to the cold, dark tunnels under the mountains. I have no need of any stupid lamp shining into me eyes. Now I'm stuck with that damn pointy ear.
Hold on, is there closed captions for this too? Sound. Subtitles. Oh, it should. I guess it doesn't do subtitles for in.
My good friend Tamos's foster daughter. Curse him. A dark elf is a dark elf, and nothing will change that. The girl will always be tainted. Should have cut her ears off when I had the chance. Enough chit-chat, men. You stay here and secure the area. I have to go.
Oh, maybe
check
it was
my
here and I'm just blind.
Invention. Stay alert. I can feel something evil lurking in the area. And it's not just that damn point.
Yeah, they're so rude to elves, by the way.
I mean, that elf.
After this cliched monologue, Grimly disappeared into the darkness. The impatient evil shadow set off again.
There we go. $30 on Steam. Read the reviews and put it on your wish list. I loved it. Oh, I'll definitely look at it. Because yeah, any game that's like this or Dungeon Keeper, like seriously sign me up to the maximum level. Can I get through here? Oh, looks like a solid yes.
In the distance, one could hear the unbearably good bells of a church. They must be.
I mean, this is kind of like the tutorial, but you don't really learn how to play the game doing this.
With lanterns, began to stream.
It's kind of like a funny intro.
The crossing on a red signal evil shadow swore, or would have if it had a mouth, and tried to avoid the lanterns as much as possible.
I do wish, because when you're playing the game, you don't get to play as this little shadow thing. I thought that it would be more of a like part of the game. But literally, this is the only time you ever get to play as the shadow that can possess people, that I'm aware of at least.
I'm glad to see so many of you here of your own free will.
But yeah, so my intention was to play this like for a couple hours, or not even a couple hours, just for a little bit on Saturday, and I got sucked into it and played it for like the past week.
Evil was within range of Thalya, the dark elf. The time had come for it to use its incredible powers
We did
to
it!
possess her for a short time.
My dear father would be very proud were he with us today. He would be overjoyed to see us give the young and the needy a place to live and thrive.
Yay!
That's why I'm happy to take this
Orphanage and...
this orphanage and destroy it utterly, and all of you.
Oh, just so ridiculous. What? So now, like, she's ours now.
I will kill you all.
And we can fight all these people. She's pretty powerful, too.
I feel the power within me.
references.
It's over 9,000!
Unimagined powers surfaced in Thalya. The black magic of the dark.
Also,
elves.
Leet.
She
How
immediately
stupid is
began to
that?
unleash these powers of chaos upon the
Leet.
world.
Oh man.
Lambs to the slaughter!
I remember all of this
The
being
dark
so
elf
much harder
breaks
when I did
through
it the first
Twistram's
time.
inexperienced guards. She thereby built up a tremendous inner energy, which she released into the world as a focus
This was
beam,
ridiculous.
while screaming Kamehameha!
I feel like the speaker for that, or the narrator must have been a little, like, cringed out for a second.
For Thalya to show up and open the new
It's funny, though.
orphanage. The energy beam hit the cake with a resounding zap and reduced it to ashes. Oh yes, and the rest of the building
And everyone else. God. Just the cake, and then all of a sudden everybody is a vaporized skeleton.
On the shoulder for this. Or it would have, but the metal armor always made such a terrible clunking noise when it tried. But then again, that's what little snots are for.
God, I love this game so much.
The Dispatch Shadow had found a perfect vessel in the Dark Elf. Thalya had already earned the title of Employee of the Month, with the utter destruction of the fatiguing library, as well as half of Twistram. The
Like,
destruction of an orphanage.
Yeah, there's a
and
lot- this is very
bombardment of innocent
dialogue
citizens with
intense in the
magic
beginning.
Missiles immediately made her the minion-wasting evil's new favorite henchperson. Her evil deeds complete, Thalya withdrew into the vaults beneath the ruins of the fatiguing
So
library.
psyched.
There, between the slaughterhouse and mad Archbishop Lazarus's apartments, she prepared to create something powerful in the name of the absolutely ultimately evil. A dungeon heart, the cornerstone of
I didn't realize she
dungeon's
makes it.
power. Far away, Paladin of Light and
Generic
Thalya's
fantasy
former
city.
master, Thanos, was on his way to
No.
the Empire's capital of
To
Storm.
fabulous.
Naive and trusting as he was whistling cheerfully to himself, with no inkling of his foster daughter's dark deeds. Though he was aware that as a dark elf, she always had a core of evil in her. He had hoped to defeat it through religious indoctrination with ancient mad writings.
Well, old
Oh,
bean.
you thought wrong.
Wow. It's funny because I'm such a nice person too that I like to play games where you're the bad person, but it's super fun.
Twistram,